Uh, I welcome Dr. V.R. Joshi. He is here. Sir, we will take a quiz before your lecture, and I hope you enjoy the quiz too. The quiz, which we call Medic Maestro, as I told you before, and Sir does not know, is based on the format of something called BBC Mastermind. In this quiz, an individual participant is seated on a chair, which in the show was an interrogation chair in a prison, and the area is darkened, nobody can be seen, not even the quiz master, and questions are fired with a time limit. Today we'll be asking 15 questions in one set and 15 in another set to each of the two participants. They have already been told about this quiz about a month in advance, and they were asked to choose one topic. Dr. Hegde, Ashit Hegde, who's the chief of intensive care in Hinduja Hospital, chose neurology as a subject. Dr. Kumar NK, who is a family physician in Andheri, he chose rheumatology as a subject. So 15 questions each on their chosen subject and 15 questions on miscellaneous symptomatology. So we are concentrating, because of this conference, on symptomatology of these areas. May I invite Dr. Ashit Hegde to please first take the stage. I would like complete darkness in the audience and a spot on the chair. I should also be Dr. Hegde, good morning. You need a mic, so we'll give you a mic. We hope you're nervous.
Quite.
Okay, I'm so sorry. But yeah, as you know the format, you of course have seen, he's an avid quizzer, and he in fact is the winner of last year's QED 2014, and QED stands for Quizzing Entirely for Doctors. This is a quiz that we conduct as a Juxta Med quiz, where questions are based on general knowledge related to medicine, and he won actually on the last question in the last second when he answered Alan Turing, which was the answer to the question. So Dr. Ashit, we will first start with your chosen subject. There are 15 questions. There will be a countdown timer which is behind you. You won't be able to see it. But when there are 30 seconds left, I'll just say 30 seconds. You can answer the question. If it is correct, I'll say correct. If it is incorrect, I'll say incorrect and immediately give the right answer. You have the choice to pass. If you pass, you have the choice to re-answer the question later if you have any time left over. We have 15 questions. Each question carries 1 point. And since this is my first time, I might be a little slow, make mistakes, so please excuse me.
My first time too. So.
Okay.
So
So the first 15 questions are on the chosen subject of Dr. Ashit Hegde. Dr. Ashit, your time starts in about 5 seconds. Which recurring headache is unilateral and may be associated
migraine.
with ipsilateral rhinorrhea?
Migraine.
Incorrect. Cluster headache.
Oh, sorry.
A young adult has a diarrheal illness followed 2 weeks later by paralysis of the lower limbs first and then the upper limbs. What do you think of?
Acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy or Guillain-Barré.
Also called Guillain-Barré syndrome. Correct. Please do not answer from the audience. Extremely important. Pseudo-dementia refers to cognitive complaints including memory impairment due to which disorder?
Depression.
Correct. Status migrainosus is a term used for migraine lasting more than how many hours? 24, 48, 72.
48. I think.
Incorrect, 72. Which is the commonest paraneoplastic syndrome associated with thymoma? Hypercalcemia, myasthenia gravis.
Myasthenia.
Correct. If a patient presents with alexia without agraphia, which means he can't read but can write, the cause is a left-sided stroke in which territory? MCA or PCA?
MCA.
Incorrect. PCA. Abnormality of which one of the 5 special senses occurs in 90% of patients of early stage Parkinson disease? It can precede the onset of motor dysfunction by years. Which special sense?
Smell.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. Olfaction is correct. Loss of sense of smell. What is the name of the defining symptom of amplified musculoskeletal pain syndrome? What is the name of the defining symptom?
Defining symptom. Pass.
I'll keep it pending. What is acephalgic migraine?
I mean, pain other than in the head. I mean, you get either abdominal pains. You get migraine, but the location is not in the...
Correct. Migraine without headache. Bed sores for some unknown reason are infrequent in a progressive neurological disorder even after patients are bedridden. Which disorder am I talking about?
Alzheimer's.
Incorrect. ALS. Frontal lobe disease can rarely cause the patient to crack inappropriate jokes which irritate the listener but intensely please the speaker. What is the German term for this condition?
Gestalt.
Incorrect. Witzel-Schutz. An important symptom of posterior fossa tumors is headache.
30 seconds.
Which symptom characteristically precedes headaches by several weeks in posterior fossa tumors? Which symptom?
Deafness.
Incorrect. Vomiting. Symptoms of multiple sclerosis can be precipitated or worsened by high temperatures due to fever, hot showers or extreme weather. What is this phenomenon called?
I think I'm not qualified for this quiz. I'm sorry.
I'll take that as a pass. Which cause of blindness can be anticipated and often prevented by oral steroids even before any visual loss occurs?
Temporal arthritis.
Is correct. Boredom. Time. Okay. I started, so I'll finish. Boredom can exacerbate which kind of seizure? Boredom can exacerbate which kind of seizure?
Temporal lobe epilepsy.
Incorrect. Absence seizures. Thank you, Dr. Hegde. I'll give you a score in some time.
That was my area of expertise. I wonder what I'll do in the next one. So anyway.
Now, of course, this is all under extreme duress and stress, so I'm sure he knew many answers which
I confess I didn't. I was under.
Okay. I'll just correct him again. Which recurring headache is unilateral? He said migraine, it is cluster headache. Guillain-Barré syndrome was right. True dementia and depression was right. Status migrainosus was 72 hours, not 48. Paraneoplastic syndrome was right. Alexia without agraphia is PCA territory, not MCA. Abnormality of olfaction is correct in Parkinson's disease. Acephalgic migraine was correct. Bed sores are infrequent in motor neuron disease, especially amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, was incorrect. Witzel-Schutz or Witzel-Schutz is the inappropriate joke making by frontal lobe disease. Vomiting or projectile vomiting is a feature of posterior fossa tumors. Blindness can be anticipated, as is correctly said, in temporal arthritis. Boredom can be exacerbated by absence seizures. And Uthoff's phenomenon is the phenomenon of aggravation of multiple sclerosis symptoms by high temperatures. Allodynia is the defining symptom of amplified musculoskeletal pain syndrome. And if, these are the extra questions. So, out of 15, I'll just check his score. He got 6 correct. Your round now, Dr. Hegde, is on miscellany. May I have the lights off again, please, in the audience? We'll start this time. As soon as Suraj is ready. 5, 4. Your time starts now. A 50-year-old high myope presents with blurring of vision, described as a curtain across the side vision. What is the likely diagnosis? High myope.
Glaucoma.
Retinal detachment. Which chronic parasitic infestation can cause symptoms related both to the upper and the lower GI tracts? Chronic parasitic infestation.
Giardia.
Is correct. Severe thoracic pain following forceful, often prolonged vomiting can cause spontaneous esophageal perforation. What is the name given to the syndrome?
Boharav syndrome.
Is correct. Knee swellings appear more commonly in which injury? Ligament or meniscus?
Meniscus, I think.
Ligament is correct.
No, I said meniscus, I'm sorry.
Ligament is the correct answer. Vestibular dysfunction is more likely to cause vertigo in which situation? If unilateral or if bilateral?
Unilateral.
Is correct. Postpartum depression can occur in fathers too. Yes or no?
Yes.
Is correct. Which disease, often triggered by cold temperatures and emotional stress, manifests on nipples, ears, nose, tongue, fingers and toes?
Raynaud's.
Is correct. Overuse of nasal decongestants like xylometazoline can cause rebound nasal congestion. What is the medical term to this paradoxical rhinitis?
Rhinitis medicamentosa.
Is correct. What is the minimum duration of symptoms required to diagnose a person with chronic fatigue syndrome? Minimum duration.
6 months.
Is correct. If a long-standing diabetic has hyperhidrosis or excessive sweating over the trunk and anhidrosis over the extremities, what complication is he experiencing?
Autonomic neuropathy.
Is correct. Ascites precox, that is ascites appearing before leg edema, can occur in which cardiac condition?
Pericardial effusion.
Sorry?
Consecutive pericarditis.
Is correct. Unilateral serous otitis media can be a feature of which cancer?
Pass for the moment.
Correct. Which febrile illness is characterized by body temperatures greater than 104 degree Fahrenheit and is classified as exertional and non-exertional? Which febrile illness?
30 seconds.
13th question.
Exertional and non-exertional. You can go
We
back
take
to
it as pass.
Yeah.
Lower limb swellings are common in the third trimester of pregnancy. What should you suspect if in addition there are bilateral upper limb swellings?
in pregnancy. Pre-eclampsia.
Pre-eclampsia is correct. I'll give that to you. You missed one question. The one question that you missed was, which painful complication of sickle cell disease occurs only in males?
Priapism.
Is correct. Okay, but you won't get that. You get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 questions right out of 15. Congratulations. We have the lights, please. Dr. Hegde, we'll take this, since you are here, you are the champion, current champion of QED. If you can motivate others to join QED in our next session.
Certainly.
By saying something.
I wouldn't like competition, but I think it was one of the, I've stopped quizzing for a long time, but I think one of the great experiences I've had in my life was QED. I'm really looking forward. Unfortunately, he's having it every 2 years, so my life is otherwise pretty boring, but it's something that I look forward to once in 2 years is this quiz, and that's why I just can't wait until next year. But what I really felt bad about was that he has taken so much of effort for the whole thing, and the audience and the people, the response, probably because not many people are aware of it. It's a great quiz, and the amount of effort and the questions are so very interesting. It's not that you require really esoteric knowledge. It's really, even to the average person, like even today's questions, you can realize his question, the way he has framed them, they're very, very interesting. There's something that remains in your mind. And so each question was something that is very interesting, something you will always remember the answer to. And it shows to answer is one thing, but to frame a good question is extremely difficult. And that tells you how much of time he had taken to frame those questions. And I really think that, QED requires much more publicity, much more. I was sad that, there was an audience, but I think for the level of the quiz it required a much, much wider audience, and it required much more publicity. So I think and this is my little bit I'm saying to, to spread the word around, and it really is a great quiz. I wish he could do it every year, but I think it takes a lot of work. Doing it every year might be very humanly difficult for him to also manage his practice and all the other things that he's doing, but it's a great quiz, and I really think you should attend next year. Like I said, I won't want so much competition, but I think certainly attend, and I think spread the word around. I think it'll be in October generally next year, but
October
I think
or
it's
November, we are still
it really is one of
finalizing.
the highlights of my otherwise boring life. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hegde. Thank you.
Thank you, Tushar. I'm sorry I screwed up the neurology. Thanks.
We will after the second part is over. Ashit, we conduct a heritage walk and we would love you to come if possible in the winter months. Thank you.